Oh, and we got it. What's up, folks?
It's your girl DJ.
And it's your boy Paul.
And we are fin to watch, what is this called?
5 creepy nursing home stories told by CNAs. Why is that special?
Because this going to have to prepare me for later on in the future. I'm a nurse, So
That's actually how we met.
CNA and medical assistant, but I met him at a nursing home. So since, as a CNA, met him as, we're CNAs. Okay?
Yeah, former CNA. She's a medical assistant. I'm
now,
an EMT.
I'm a medical assistant. No longer that. Yeah. For y'all, I would say for starters, if y'all need a job, I would say go to CNA. But I wouldn't prefer CNA and I wouldn't prefer medical assistant either. Even though the hands-on is fun, I would say pick a Pacific job, actually, when it comes to the medical assistant, because you do not want to be at no front desk.
Honestly, I say stay away from bedside. But let's get into it.
Other than that, let's keep going.
Let's do it.
Stories would they tell? In nursing homes, where life and death exist in a delicate balance, some say the past never truly leaves. Lights flicker without reason, whispers echo down empty hallways, and residents speak of visitors no one else can see.
For
the certified nursing assistants, CNAs, who work these late-night shifts, the job isn't just about patient care. It's about surviving the eerie moments that make their skin crawl. These are the stories they never forget.
The clicker.
The ones that send shivers down their spine long after their shift ends.
Just press it if it in a pause.
Some are unexplained. Okay. Some are terrifying. And some will make you question what really happens in the quiet corners of nursing homes when the world is asleep. Do you believe in ghosts? By the end of these 5 stories, you just might.
Do you believe in ghosts? Do you believe in ghosts?
I believe in some spiritual stuff. I haven't seen a ghost.
Not in the way people talk about them anyway.
Not inviting it.
Shadows in the corner of your eye.
I wish I would.
Spots in the room. Things like that.
Going straight to
I've
church.
Worked in long-term care for
Hallelujah.
years, and I've seen my share of
this
strange
house.
things. Residents talking to people who aren't there, knowing things they shouldn't, passing away just when they said they would.
I hear that all the time.
This was different. This was real. Her name was Mrs. Callahan, 86 years old, a retired teacher, no family left. Her husband had passed decades ago, and they never had children. She had a few old friends who visited when they could, but most days it was just us, the staff, the other residents, and her chair.
So true
that
for many of
them.
them.
Was her world. A deep mahogany frame with a blue and white quilted cushion, worn smooth from decades of use. She sat in it every day, from morning until night, always by the window in room 206. She'd rock slowly back and forth, watching the trees sway in the wind. I'd pass by her door and she'd smile at me, always saying the same thing. Don't ever take a good chair for granted, dear. A good chair holds you like a mother's arms. Then one morning, she was gone. Peaceful, they said, like she just drifted off in her sleep. We found her in that chair, her hands folded in her lap, as if she was still just resting for a moment before breakfast. After her room was cleaned out, we left the chair there for a few days. None of us could bring ourselves to move it. It was hers. It felt wrong to touch it. But after a week, when a new resident was set to move in, we finally carried it down to storage. That night, I heard it. I was passing through the hallway on rounds, walking past her old room, when I froze. The sound was faint, but unmistakable, slow, rhythmic creaking. The exact sound that Chair made every night when she sat in it, rocking herself to sleep. I stepped inside.
2-week notice. 2-week notice.
This is in the nursing home too? Quit playing.
Yeah.
And she already gone.
Completely empty. The bed was freshly made. The furniture cleared out. No chair, nothing that could make a sound like that. But it was there, rocking, steady, like always. I stood there for a long time just listening. My stomach was tight, my hands cold, but I wasn't afraid. I don't know how to explain it. It wasn't frightening. It was familiar, like walking into a room and hearing someone humming a song you've known all your life. The next day, I told a few of the other CNAs. They nodded almost knowingly. I wasn't the only one who'd heard it. It happened every night, right around the same time she used to go to sleep. The sound would go on for hours, One of the nurses, an older woman who had worked
It's
here
like a
longer than
Stephen
all
King
of us,
movie.
finally spoke up. "Bring the chair back," she said. At first, we laughed, but she didn't. "Put it back where it was," she told us. "Some things don't like to be moved." That evening, we carried the chair.
And I proceeded to move it like I wanted to. The spirit is gone.
Everything that will be that was in that room with that person that was there will be replaced. What you talking about?
Yeah, somebody
Ain't
else's insurance
ain't nothing
is
finna get
taking over
attached
for
to
that
nothing.
room. Yeah.
You're not finna get attached to nothing. Not while I'm here.
Yeah, the dad's insurance is gonna be expired too, so why is the spirit still here? He ain't paying rent.
Kid.
Out of storage and set it right back in its place by the window of 206. We didn't say a word to each other after that, just walked out and shut the door behind us. That night, the building was silent. No creaking, no sound at all from her room, just stillness. I pass by that room every day. The new resident who moved in doesn't mind the chair. She even sits in it sometimes. But every once in a while, when I walk
Here
past,
we go,
I glance
sitting in it.
inside,
Should have just thrown the
half
chair
expecting
out.
to see Mrs. Callahan there, watching the trees sway in the wind. And sometimes, just sometimes, I swear I see that chair move, just the slightest shift, as if someone had just leaned back and settled in for the night.
Nick.
Hello, friends. Thank you for watching.
You gotta bleep
A
that
special
out.
shout out to our subscribers who
Wild.
keep these eerie stories alive. But here's the thing, only 30% of viewers are subscribed. If you enjoy our content, hitting subscribe helps us more than you know. It takes a second, but makes a huge difference. While you're at it, like and share to keep the chills coming. Thanks
We
again.
go fast forward.
You know what?
We go fast
That's
forward.
actually a good point. Why don't you go ahead, like, comment, subscribe right now as we go ahead and fast forward through this damn break.
On me. Like,
On me.
skip through all of this.
Story number 2. Okay, like, comment, subscribe. Tell us your CNA stories if you're a CNA or if you're in the medical field, period.
And the silence
Let's
of the
hear it.
nursing home was only broken by the occasional beep of a monitor or the distant shuffle of feet down the
That
hallway.
damn beat. Always.
I had worked here long enough to know the rhythm of the night. Med pass, repositioning, checking in on residents who were restless or
Repositioning. Oh
confused,
my god.
ensuring no one had wandered where they shouldn't be. It was routine. It was predictable. Until it wasn't.
School me.
I was in room 209, adjusting Mrs. Levy's blankets. She was one of my favorites. Quiet, gentle, always grateful for the smallest kindness.
Always the quiet one.
As I tucked the covers under her chin, she stirred slightly, sighing in her sleep. I stood up,
That's why I keep
brushing
you
off my
around.
scrubs, and turned toward the door. That's when I felt it, a cold breath, right against my ear. It was so close, so deliberate, that every nerve in my body locked up. A whisper followed, faint, barely audible, but unmistakable. "Leave." I turned sharply, my breath catching.
You'll
But there
do.
was nothing, no one. Just the dim light spilling in from the
You
hallway.
better pay me my
casting
whole
long
shift.
shadows
Will
over the
do.
room. My heart pounded so hard I could hear it in my ears. I forced a breath, willing my rational mind to take over. Maybe it was my own breath echoing weirdly in the stillness.
Yo, weird breath. Echoing. Are you serious?
Was this during COVID when we like had to wear masks 24/7 everywhere in the hall?
You'd go sit here.
And then you like waft your
You're
own breath to
weird.
your own ear. Maybe that's
Who
what it
does that? Oh my god! I felt myself tell me myself to leave. Like, come to senses.
I don't
Maybe
know.
exhaustion was playing tricks on me. I stepped into the hallway, looking both ways. The corridor was empty, just as it had been moments ago. But the feeling lingered. A weight in the air, thick and pressing, like something unseen was still standing beside me, waiting, watching.
So you thought it was your breath?
There were
Okay.
still rounds to finish.
Still next to
and I
it.
didn't have time to choose
What we
from
looking
my own
for?
Imagination. I made my way down the hall, checking on residents one by one. Each door I opened, I half expected to find someone standing there waiting for me. But every room was the same, dim, quiet, undisturbed. By the time I reached Mr. Holloway's
any of the
room, my
residents
nerves had settled. I pushed the door open gently, careful not to startle him. He was a light sleeper, prone to waking up disoriented and confused. But as I stepped inside, I found him sitting up in bed, staring straight at me. You heard it, didn't you? He said, his voice raspy with anger.
Okay, yeah.
My stomach.
Yeah. That would have been it for me.
You know how
that would have been it for me. I would be like, you know what?
You mean heard my resignation?
Yeah, I'm gone. You know what?
Effective immediately.
I wish you the best, friend. Keep God with you. I'm out. I quit. And I mean it. I quit. I'm not even going to sign out for you, okay? You sign me out for I get the...
You know what? I ain't gonna lie.
I'll go.
There was a time that actually did happen to me, babe.
What?
There was a time that a patient that was on hospice. Remember, I told you there was a patient that was taken off hospice twice. We'll name him Oscar as well. I remember one night after his family contacted him from a different country, granddaughter that he didn't really like talk to and know, was like speaking to him on the phone. And literally that same day, I saw him at the edge of the bed, sitting like this, eating the graham crackers and the little, those little milk cartons that they give you. And it's like the vanilla and the strawberry. They're actually really good. Just don't let them get, too cold because then they get clumpy. Anyway, he was at the end eating. And I was like, yo, what the actual? Like, this was maybe like 2 a.m. or when I was just doing a round before about to take a nap. No, I remember Oscar was sitting up and I'm like, yo, this dude done pulled, I don't know what he's doing. And it kind of scared me because he was sitting at the edge of the bed and I was like, I'm not about to go touch this man.
When would you go tell me this?
I told you this before. Yeah, this is before we even met that this happened at, I'll say the location. This was at Ocean Point because the guy is no longer there.
That's creepy. Okay.
Very first nursing home that I worked at.
Oof.
Yeah, and I was like, this man, he was 87 years old, and he was very skinny.
And you...
Yep. Only spoke Spanish. And to give a little background, and that's how I used to practice on. It was funny, too, because as I was changing, I'd be like, por la raza, as a joke. And he would try to, turn around and fight me, and I'm like, no, estoy ganando, or, whatever. Plancha.
What is...
Plancha is when
No,
you're joking.
what is por la raza?
Oh, I think that's for the gang or for the...
He don't mean that, okay?
That's what I said.
He don't mean that. We ain't in no gang.
Gang.
Stop! We ain't in no... Hey, I don't... trust and believe. I ain't in no gang. He ain't in no gang. He
in
over
the
here front.
Jesus Christ gang.
There we go. Jesus Holy Christ.
Yeah, but I'm sorry. I didn't deviate from that. That was my first CNA story as a crazy, something. I mean, the person wasn't crazy. It was just weird. Hospice. You were on hospice for 6 months.
And he gets up.
And he's sitting at the edge of the bed. Like, yo, my bro, what is going on?
That's sad. That's... then you stay there?
Yep.
I don't know what it is. Maybe none of us do until it's our turn. What I do know is that when the time comes, no one goes alone.
True. They go in threes.
What they say.
Hey, do not sell your Los Angeles house before downloading.
Another story in like that?
One little thing before selling your house in this.
Do not go alone.
I was doing my usual rounds that evening, moving from room to room, checking on the residents. It had been a long shift, the kind that blurred together with all the others. The air in the facility was thick with a familiar mix of
regular
antiseptic,
shift,
old linens, and the faintest trace of dinner that had long since been cleared away. The halls were quiet, only the occasional murmur of a television or the shuffling of a patient's slippers breaking the silence.
Okay.
I had just finished checking on a resident when I heard it, a knock, sharp, deliberate, not from the hallway, but from inside a room that had been empty for weeks. I stopped mid-step, frowning. It wasn't unusual to hear noises in this place. Buildings like this always had their own way of settling, creaking, shifting. But this wasn't just a random sound. It was rhythmic, urgent. I hesitated before stepping inside. The room was dark, except for the pale glow of the nightlight plugged into the wall. Everything was exactly as it had been left. The bed stripped down to its plastic-covered mattress, the chair by the window untouched, facing the world outside. The air was stale, carrying the lingering scent of the cologne the last resident used to wear. The knocking continued, steady, coming from the bathroom.
Did you ever get any lingering scent?
My mind tried to rationalize.
Me either.
Maybe maintenance was working late. Maybe a draft was rattling something loose. But the closer I got,
Only thing I would remember is like family members used to smell before they passed. My granny, I remember how my Grandma Rita hair smell. I remember how her dreads smell.
Well, that's like in their actual like dwelling, right? So like, in their location or whatever, like
Her
at the
hair.
time.
It's the smell of her
And
hair.
we remember, but how they're describing it is like in the nursing home, you still have the remnants and the smell of the last person's cologne.
Yeah, no.
No, because there's so much constant poo smell and UTI smells like,
pissy rooms.
Yeah, piss with, sewage and tuna.
Ew, okay.
With expired mail.
Okay.
The more it felt
with
wrong.
popcorn
Ew.
and dirty shaft.
I reached for the bathroom door handle, my fingers brushing against the cool metal. And the moment I touched it, silence. The knocking stopped. I stood there, listening. My breath caught somewhere between my lungs and my throat. Nothing. No footsteps, no rustling, no sign that anyone had ever been in there at all. Slowly, I turned the handle and pushed the door open. The small bathroom was exactly as it should be, sterile, empty. The shower curtain hung still, the sink was dry, and the mirror reflected nothing but my own slightly pale face staring back at me.
And
I stepped inside, looking around, expecting, hoping to find something that would explain what I had heard.
Why are we going to look for stuff?
See,
I exhaled,
what did I just say?
shaking my head at myself.
Close, nothing there.
Maybe
End
it
your
was the
shift.
pipes knocking, or maybe exhaustion was finally catching up to me. I had been working doubles all week, barely sleeping in between shifts.
That's your fault.
That had to be it. Still, as I stepped out and pulled the door shut behind me, something felt different.
Because
the air in the room felt heavier, pressing down on my chest in a way I couldn't explain. It wasn't fear, not exactly. More like the weight of being watched. I left the room quickly, closing the door behind me, and didn't look back. I never heard the knocking again after that night. But something about that room stayed with me. And no matter how many shifts I worked, no matter how many patients came and went, I always avoided walking past it alone.
Oh, you scared.
Thank you all for joining me on these journeys. Your support.
Okay.
That was a weird way of telling our stories. I need to tell them longer. I need to understand it better.
Yeah, it seems like it's AI generated,
what
right?
happened after that? Yes. This seems like this is fake. I need actual stories from people, like handwritten stories. I'm not finna do this.
Yeah.
This is so crazy.
It's funny. I don't even know if I have any actual like horror stories, but I do feel like there's like different energy and such that I feel.
Group for nurses.
But it's I don't know. It's just kind of interesting because you expect a place like that has high energy and people that were once living there, and they're like, let's say they're expired. Like I walked into a room once at Windsor. It was in the deep 30s. And I remember this is after one of the patients had passed. And I remember hearing that they had passed at the beginning of the shift, like coming in. Mm-hmm. Oh, this person, they were on your schedule, but they're not anymore. And I was like, okay, cool, whatever. I went to go like hide away or whatever to go, just chill and be on my phone and do my thing and just like not have any patient duties or have to deal with call lights. You hide as a CNA. Okay. The room that I went into had the little curtain dividers. So, a lot of the nursing homes had the curtain dividers, right?
Okay.
So I tell you that one of them, actually two of them were already placed. And I was like, dang, I don't really like that it's like that because it makes the room smaller and stuffy. Like, let me just open this up. So I opened it up and the first bed presents to me a white sheet.
Okay.
And I noticed that the white sheet has a pointy part. And I was like, oh, did they put some like bed parts here? And I lift it and it's a damn foot.
Oh my gosh!
Like, oh, this is the patient that I was supposed to have laying right here.
You went in the room! Oh my god!
And I was sitting there just enjoying my time.
Oh my gosh.
And I worked a 3 to 11 shift, so.
I would have freaked out.
But this is earlier in the day, so there was daylight. But
I wouldn't care, man. Now that room was booked. I can look.
I was wondering why it was chilly. I was like, man, it's a little chilly in here.
That room was black, wasn't it?
Well, it it was dark, but you know how like the curtains, the blackout curtains,
I
kind
don't
of let
care.
some of the
Yeah,
light
well,
creep
the
in.
blackout curtains. It was blacked out, but it had the curtains.
But I
still.
also closed the door from the hallway, but not fully though.
Pa.
So there was still some light coming in. It wasn't like pitch black.
Something wrong with you.
But I realized that the body was there, and I was like, "Oh, I should go to the other room now." So
Something wrong with you.
I left and went to the other room.
There's no freaking way. I would have screamed.
This is the truth.
I would have screamed from the top of my lungs. I would have said, "I need a break."
Yeah.
I need a break. Like,
yeah.
I gotta call off. Like I gotta call off.
You know,
I gotta go home. Yeah, we can't do this no more.
You know what? If anybody has any stories, we would love to hear it. Just go ahead and DM one of us what the story is.
I'll put my Instagram. Just hashtag Woolfolk family, and tell me your stories, many stories. If you have more than one, I don't care. Tell me, and make sure it's interesting because we can read it out loud, and then we will represent y'all and give y'all a shout out. Okay?
Yeah. Presented with us. Like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Comment down below, and we'll do another feature of Med Talk.
And if it's a funny story too, if it was funny, or if it was, I want something really scary to where we believe it.
Send us what you got. Send us what you got. We'll be down to read it. All right.
Listen.
We out. Once again, just remember.
My name is DJ.
And my name is Paul.
And we are the Woolfolk family.
Woolfolk family. See you.
I like that little button. Just stop it.